Hey guys, Nick here again. Today I'm going to talk to you about some more basic guitar maintenance. Today I want to talk to you about guitar intonation, intonating your guitar. So if you watched my last video on string height adjustments, I talked about how to do basic string height adjustments when only one or two of your strings are a little bit off, like in the case of my guitar when I had a good setup on there, but I just preferred two of my strings a little bit higher than my luthier felt that they were good on his end. So nothing wrong with the setup, but everybody's feel for their guitar is different. Today I want to get into guitar intonation and what that means. How do you know if your intonation's bad? There are a few different ways. If you tune your open strings, they're perfectly in tune, they sound great, you're 100% convinced that they're right on tune, and you play something a little further up the fret or different chords up here and something else higher on the neck is not in tune, that's an intonation problem. Your guitar is not intonated properly. Now the most common factor of this is old strings. When strings get really old, they just don't have their same elasticity, they don't hold their harmonics the right way, and they can't stay intonated very well. So if you have very old strings or they have many hours of playing on there and you're not sure if you should change them yet, the first thing that anybody would do is they would change your strings to something brand new and then try your intonation and see if it's still good or if it's still up at that point. So let's go over some basics. Here's a guitar, here's your neck. Your string is connected from the nut over here all the way across the fretboard, across the pickups, all the way to your bridge. Now the best way to check this is to, not on a table like this, you can actually do it while you're holding it. If you play this 12th fret and it's higher than that open string, you need to tighten this. Just give it about a quarter turn. Retune the open string. If the 12th fret is still higher in pitch, then tighten it a little bit more. If it's lower in pitch, you can loosen it. And those are the basics on intonating your guitar. And now this is something you really don't have to do often at all. But if you are changing string tunings a lot, if you're changing string, even brands, gauges, string different gauges, those can all affect intonation just a little bit, especially if you're doing like drop tuning here and there, that will affect your intonation. I've noticed that a lot. So assuming everything else stays the same, this shouldn't have to be reset often, if ever at all. Those are the basics of intonating your guitar. It's definitely not a scary process. I think too many people are terrified of maybe adjusting something the wrong way and their whole guitar is out of tune and it'll be messed up and they'll have to pay $1 bazillion to have like somebody else from a guitar tech center fix it or something like that. Definitely not the case. If you just follow these basics, tune it just a little bit at a time, the same thing you do with your height adjustment, you can't go wrong. It's a very simple thing, and it's good to actually learn about your guitar and test it out here and there. When I first started intonating my own guitar, I was kind of scared, you know, like I'm going to screw something up and then it's really going to be out of tune and I don't want to have to pay a bunch of money. And as soon as I just, super basic, as soon as you learn how to do it the right way, you're like, wow, this is easy. I should do this all the time for all my guitars. And I just saved myself like a couple $100s on all my guitars because I can know how to do that now. And I can maybe help my friends out or make a few extra bucks doing it for people on the side, whether you have students or something like that. So it's always good to have guitar skills when you're fixing things. So between intonating guitars and raising the saddle height adjustment, you can save yourself some money and even make some on the side if you want. So I will be making something very soon in the near future about adjusting your truss rod, which is another big scary thing that people they don't know how to do it and they don't want to touch it. Another one that's super simple if you just know how to do it right and you just take your time and you're cautious with it. Another thing, you can save yourself a lot of money and you can just make your guitars much more playable and just in better maintenance health. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.